This is TWiT.
We were talking, you were showing that you've got some new Anker GAN chargers, and we were talking about it. I saw that a number of companies, particularly Rav Power and Aukey, have been removed from Amazon for soliciting reviews.
Yes.
And I was a little bit shocked. Apparently, Amazon just recently yanked Rav Power, Vava, and Tautronics. They're all share a parent company, a Chinese company. And I think it all started with a Wall Street Journal report showing that the reporter Nicole Nguyen had, when she bought a new charger from Rav Power, got a coupon in there offering $35 in a gift card for an Amazon review.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good money. It's also against Amazon's rules and has been for 5 years. Yeah. So apparently that was the... Now, I like Rav Power. I buy their
products are actually pretty good.
Yeah, their chargers.
Yeah. My Charge, Rav Power, they actually made decent product, but they felt as if they didn't stack the reviews, they don't get to the top of Amazon search, and therefore they lose out.
Yeah.
So it was a calculated bet, and they lost.
Yeah, they lost. And I think I understand. You were talking, Nicholas, about the problem Amazon's having with phony reviews. They're blaming social media. How many reviews on Amazon do you think are fake? Because honestly, I don't buy something unless I read the reviews first.
I've been solicited for them.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
That's the real value, or was the real value of Amazon for me, was those reviews.
I couldn't even estimate how many are. What I do personally, if it's not something that, let's say, I don't know, headphones or whatever, I'll often Google like blah, 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 Reddit, and to find the people talking about
that's
the thing,
a better
like,
way to do it.
I'm currently shopping around for some home theater stuff. And so I'm typing all the models and like Reddit and seeing if people talk about them, and like actual humans, at least Reddit to my knowledge hasn't been like gamified or like subverted in that way yet, but I feel like
tell if they're phony. I mean,
not if they're written well.
Yeah, but how many are written well?
No, okay. So a lot of the spam ones, just discard those. Tell. But if someone's actually going into detail about what they used it for,
well, that's the problem with this gift card thing, because that may actually solicit somebody who's really cares to write that review.
Right.
Amazon says it removed more than 200 million suspected fake reviews in 2020 alone before they were seen by customers. So, I mean, that's a huge number.
Now, something interesting I find about this story is a while back, probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I was solicited for a set of reviews for products that I had only searched for on Amazon.
And for some reason, I thought you were going to say a set of steak knives. Oh, okay. So
No, so these were products I had only looked for on Amazon. I hadn't Googled for them. I just thought, oh, those are interesting. And then, like, the next day...
They knew that you'd seen that listing.
I'm like, so is Amazon selling that data? I mean, they have to be. That's the only way that they could have gotten it.
They must be.
They were able to buy a list of people who looked at their product but didn't buy. And suddenly they said, hey, we'd love to give you a free X, Y, or Z. All we would ask is you write a review.
I find it hard to believe that Amazon is selling that first-party data to people. I mean, that's the secret sauce.
Well, how would they get that?
There's no way.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, no way Amazon would risk that. But then how in the world did they get that?
It's the same story with Facebook is listening to us on our devices, which is that oftentimes, we might think that our behaviors or the products we're interested in are, very idiosyncratic or specific to ourselves. But once you can, target someone with some broad targeting criteria, you could generally figure out what they like and what they want. And in fact, when I would speak to people who used to work in the front offices in Amazon, they would tell me that they could tell you everything about the way that people live in a certain zip code.
Absolutely.
All they needed is a zip code.
All they need is a zip code.
Their leisure.
That's been going on for decades.
They know everything. Yeah. So it's not as if they needed to necessarily search, your search history on Amazon, which Amazon would never sell because that's what powers the whole marketplace.
Right.
It could just be that they guessed pretty well. which is why the same thing that happens.
You
when
didn't
people say
you didn't
Facebook
click
list.
anything. You just opened that page.
I just
looked
opened
at
that
the
page.
product, went on.
This was for a backpack, a solar powered backpack.
So it's highly unlikely they would have said, "Oh, that Father Robert, he buys a lot of solar powered backpacks."
And so it was such a niche thing, and it was so different than anything I've ever searched.
And then
for.
the next day, after looking at that listing,
I got an offer. We'll send you a free one. All we want is a review.
Quite a coincidence.
And the way they phrased it was interesting because they said we don't want to buy a positive review. We just want to make sure you share your experience
that's
on
because
Amazon.
Amazon gets upset about that. Yeah.